This is TWiT.
So last week you had the opportunity, dear listeners, to hear a little bit about Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event. And at the end of my conversation with Jason Howell, Jason talked about a new product from Samsung, the Galaxy Ring. But we only got a little bit of a taste of what the Galaxy Ring was going to be, what it could do. And I am excited to say that we are joined today by CNET's own Lexy Savvides, who is here to tell us even more about it. Welcome to the show, Lexy.
Hi, Mikah. Thanks for having me.
It is a pleasure to have you here. I really appreciate you taking the time to join us today. And I was hoping we could start by talking about the basics of this device. What is the Samsung Galaxy Ring for folks who missed last week's episode or maybe want to know a little bit more, especially how much does it cost and when and where is it available?
Great question. So I have the Galaxy Ring right here. I've been testing it and wearing it for about a week now. This is a smart ring. Think about fitness trackers from a few years ago, things like the Fitbit, even the Misfit and the Pebble and so on. Very passive fitness trackers that would just track steps. Some would track activity and things like your heart rate and sleep overnight. That is all now consolidated into a smart ring, and it does a few more extra exciting things, including some gesture control options, and it gives you more insights and hopefully more actionable information into how it's detecting your sleep, or maybe say giving you some tips about movement and activity levels over time. It is $400, which is definitely on the higher level of other smart rings that are out there. And it is going on sale on July 24th. However, it seems to have been pretty popular with kind of the pre-briefs and announcements last week, because it is now being pushed out. If you go to Samsung.com and try and pre-order one, it now has been pushed out to almost the end of August. So it seems to be a pretty popular device. And in my past week of wearing it, I can kind of see why.
Yeah, in fact, that is a great intro to my next question for you. I was hoping you could tell us a little bit about your initial impressions of the Galaxy Ring, the unboxing experience, the fit and finish, particularly when it comes to fit, because this is the thing that has to be able to fit on your ring, and then just generally what it's like to wear the ring.
Well, I've unboxed my fair share of tech gadgets over the years, and I have to say unboxing the Galaxy Ring was pretty special. So the first thing to kind of know about it is that the ring box essentially is very different to other smart ring solutions, which usually use kind of a puck system. So you just put the smart ring on and it charges. This is actually a proper case. It is transparent, so you can see what's going on. There are some really nice lighting effects inside. So when you open the case up, you'll see this light appear. When you put the ring on to charge, it will also give you a battery indication. And there's also another light for pairing. But the unboxing was pretty fun because you take out it from the main kind of packaging, and then there's a bigger black ring box, and then inside that box you open it up and then you get this box, and then the ring was sitting right on top. So it was pretty nice. There was a lot of thought that was actually put into this product design and packaging. The fit and the finish is something that's going to be pretty personal. Obviously, a smart ring is something that's probably going to be a little bit more of an accessory to kind of how you express yourself, a little bit more like jewelry than, say, a smartwatch or a fitness tracker. So it comes in 3 different finishes. This one I've been testing is the matte black finish. It's also available in a silver and a gold. Both of those are a little bit more shiny, and they kind of look a little bit more like traditional rings that you wear on your fingers. And it actually is really, really comfortable. The first 24 hours I was wearing this, I honestly had to keep looking down at my finger going, do I have a ring on? It is so very light. It's maximum 3 grams. So it's really not going to get in your way with your day-to-day life and activities, and super, super comfortable, at least for me. And I wouldn't consider myself a big fan of wearing rings in general. I have a wedding band, but that's kind of all I can stand. So being able to wear the Galaxy Ring 24/7 is kind of the key, because you will want to keep tracking your activity and your sleep over time.
Wow, you are very good at these transitions, because my next question is, in fact, about tracking stuff. As a wearable, in theory, its primary purpose is to track health metrics. So I'd like to know how you felt about, how well or how unwell it did at tracking those activity and sleep metrics.
Such a great question because a lot of the smart rings that have come before haven't been necessarily great at sort of things like sleep tracking accuracy, heart rate accuracy, and activity tracking. It gives you an idea, but it wouldn't call it kind of like a great representation. Not all smart rings, but just some of the ones, especially on the sort of cheaper end of the spectrum. Fortunately, the Galaxy Ring seems to have done really good in my testing period over the past week. Obviously, there will be kind of more things that may come up during time as I kind of wear this even longer term to kind of gather all the data. But I did compare a couple of different metrics against kind of more gold standard ways of measuring things. So, for example, sleep tracking, I compared the Galaxy Rings results against the 8 Sleep. This is kind of like a cover that sits on top of your bed. It's a full body system that does heating and cooling, but it also has sleep tracking metrics on board. So you can kind of see how long you're in different sleep stages and how much you kind of move around during the night. The Galaxy Ring actually matched up pretty well in terms of getting those sleep stages to basically kind of the same parameters as the 8 Sleep was measuring. The only thing that the Galaxy Ring kind of said that I had a little bit more of than the 8 Sleep on my bed was actually the length of time that I was in bed. But other things like average heart rate was really quite spot on. So I was really genuinely pleased by that. And I also tested the heart rate sensor for just general resting heart rate during the day against a chest strap, which is kind of the gold standard of consumer heart rate tracking. And it did match up within about 2 beats per minute, which is pretty good and on par with most sort of consumer smartwatches today as well.
Wow. Okay. So my next question then, it sounds like it did a pretty good job with sleep tracking. What's its comparison to other smart rings on the market? I know one really popular one is the Aura Ring, and it is one that I know a lot of folks that listen to the show and even folks who I work with all really like their Aura Ring. And we're kind of wondering because Aura Ring's been around for a while and, has certainly gained enough popularity and enough of a place in the ecosystem to, in some cases, get clearance to be purchased through FSAs and HSA plans and things like that. And so this one comes along from a big tech company, and it does have you wondering kind of where does it stack up with the competition?
Absolutely. Such a great question. And it's really the kind of the burning question that many people want to know is how does it stack up against the Aura Ring, which has really kind of defined the smart ring category, and other players such as, say, the Ultra Human Ring Air. There's also smart rings from Amazfit. There are more kind of women's health focused rings such as the Evie Ring as well. And there are so many out there that are coming out. But yes, you're right. Samsung is the biggest company to make a smart ring so far. It really has the potential to shake up the market. Specifically when it comes to comparing with the Aura Ring, the key thing about the Galaxy Ring is that it doesn't require a subscription. So the outright cost is more than an Aura Ring. So the Aura Ring starts at about, I think it's $299 or $300. The Galaxy Ring is $399 or $400 essentially. So it's $100 difference in the kind of the base price. However, the Aura Ring generally requires a subscription, which is $6 a month, in order to see kind of those really in-depth health metrics, things that the Galaxy Ring is giving you basically, straight out of the box without having to pay an additional monthly fee. So that's kind of the big calling card there. And I did kind of the price comparison, obviously the total cost of ownership over, if you keep the Galaxy Ring for 2 years and you were thinking about getting an Aura Ring, you end up saving $44 basically, kind of because if you do that, the math basically with the $6 a month subscription, you end up paying a little bit more over the 2-year period in total. So that's the really the big appeal there is not having to have that monthly ongoing cost to get access to your own data and metrics. And the other thing is the Galaxy Ring. I mean, this is a very personal thing. A lot of people, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, rings are highly, highly personal. How they fit, how they feel. I've definitely found the Galaxy Ring to be more comfortable to wear than the Aura Ring. Highly subjective again, but that could be another element that maybe makes you look at this over an Aura Ring. But the Aura Ring does have one more trick up its sleeve that the Galaxy Ring does not, which is it works on Android and iOS. The Galaxy Ring is Android only, and you'll need a Galaxy phone specifically for some extra features that it has on board.
Understood. Well, let's actually talk about that then. You when we talked to Jason Howell at the time, he said that he was pretty sure that the Galaxy Ring only worked with Galaxy devices from Samsung. And then later we had heard that maybe it works with multiple Android devices. So what's the deal there? What's going on there?
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion. And I have to say, Samsung did not do a good job of basically telling people outright what it is and is not compatible with. So I can tell you right now, it is Android only. However, if you want to access certain things that are kind of flagship features of the Galaxy Ring, such as the energy score, things like the wellness tips, and also the gesture control. So you can use a double pinch action to be able to do things like, say, take a photo remotely from your phone. Those features are only going to be available to you if you pair the Galaxy Ring with a Galaxy phone. So it is kind of locking you in that ecosystem for the most feature set, but you can absolutely use it with any Android phone from Android 11 onwards if you don't mind missing out on some of those features.
Now, the last question I have for you, and I think it's a question that a lot of people will have. This is a very, very small device. It is tiny, and it comes with that really cool case. How often do you have to charge it? What has battery life been for you? What does Samsung say about how you can get more battery life or less battery life, depending on what you're doing? Tell us about that when it comes to having this wearable.
Yeah, so the key with a smart ring and sort of most other wearables that are trying to give you the most accurate insights into your kind of health and wellness and sleep and all that is that you want to wear them as much as physically possible. So you need a battery that's going to last a long time. Samsung has two specific claims about the Galaxy Ring battery life. So for the ring sizes between 5 and 11, the battery life on that is going to be up to 6 days. And if you have the largest sizes, either the 12 or the 13, that battery life gets extended to up to 7 days. I've done my own testing and verification of this. The one that I've been testing is actually a size 11. It does run, I'd say, a little bit smaller than standard ring sizes. So definitely use the sizer that Samsung will send you if you're interested in getting one. So it definitely does match up pretty closely to those estimates that Samsung has given. So I found that with a day of kind of normal usage, maybe like just generally tracking my steps and activity, a workout or something like that, and also sleep tracking, the battery generally drops between 15 to 20% every day. So it's definitely on track to give you that up to 6 days battery life on the smaller ring size. But the cool thing is with the charging case, this is, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of unique compared to other smart ring solutions because it's actually a ring box. So you can put the ring in, like, so it's got this, I'm not sure if you can see on this very bad quality zoom camera that I have here on my laptop. But it does have this ring light inside, so it gives you an idea of the charge. This box itself holds about 1.5 times charge. So that's basically like 9 or 10 days worth of battery life in here. Pop it in and you close the lid. You can go about your day and throw it in a bag. It will charge up just over an hour, something like that. So you have a full charge and you're ready to get on with your day. And also the other thing I really like about this charging case is that it has reverse wireless charging support from a Samsung phone, or you can just put it on a Qi wireless charging pad as well if you don't have USB-C around to charge it up with. So that's just a nice touch that I think definitely sets it apart from other smart rings on the market.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that it also did the wireless charging. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today to talk about your review. Of course, folks should head over to CNET to check out the entire review. You have it jam-packed full of great photos and information and loads more than we were able to talk about today in the interview. And of course, folks can head over to CNET to check out your great videos and your writing now as well. And I would love to know, and so would our listeners, where they can follow you online to keep up with what you're doing.
I'm on pretty much every platform you can think of: Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Just find me the same username. It's just my name at Lexy Savvides, 2 V's, in case you're trying to work it out because it's kind of hard to spell. But you can find me on that. I'm also really I love giving people buying advice and tips and things. So you can just DM me and hopefully I'll see it and I'll get back to you if you have a question about which one should I buy. I can't decide. So always happy to help you out too in that way.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time and hope to get you back in on the show again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Micah. Thanks for having me. I would love that. See ya.
Thanks so much for watching this little chunk of Tech News Weekly. If you'd like to get the full episode, well, head over to twit.tv/TNW. There you'll find buttons you can click or tap to subscribe to the entire show in audio and video formats. Or just look in the description. We've got links down there as well.